Good morning, everybody. My name is Christine Araoka, and I'm your music director. For those who are new here, welcome. And then, one last thing, I have one last show at Club 616 in Santa Ana featuring Frank Sinatra music, if you are interested. Now, with our opening hymn, we'll be singing hymn number 368, Now Let Us Sing. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit and join us in singing.
Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the faith within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the hope within. Sing to the power of the hope within. Sing up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the love within. Love into the power of the love within. Sing to the power of the love within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the love within. And that's all, folks.
Well, good morning, and it's so wonderful to be back at Fullerton and to see all of you. Many thanks to Megan for her hard work on this service, and Reverend Rob for having me here, Christine, and Mark. And Mark and Chris and anybody who did anything, and thank you all for being here. Our chalice lighting words are by Tracy Johnson. We light our chalice this morning, light of our creative spirits, light of our wise souls, light of our wondering and curious minds, light of love for this place, this people, this work. Illuminate our hearts and the spaces between them in this sacred time unfolding. Blessed be.
And now, please join me in saying our unison affirmation. This flame affirms the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Love is the doctrine that we share. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. Thus do we covenant with one another. It is our custom to provide donations of non-perishable food and personal care items for Pathways of Hope, a local food bank. Please be sure to check the dates, as we cannot donate anything that is expired. As the children come forward, they're asked to collect the donations placed at the end of the rows. And now the children are invited to come forward for our Time for All Ages.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this
Good morning. Thank you for joining me, Children at Heart. My name is Megan Watson. I am the RE Teen Coordinator. We do have some teenagers today out there in the wild, but I have my children at heart here in front of me. We are going to be reading a story called My Many Colored Days, and it is written by Dr. Seuss. And this was a story by Dr. Seuss that I had actually never heard of. I know it says something else on the screen. Don't worry about it. Some days are yellow, some are blue. On different days, I'm different too. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. On other days, I'm other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown. Then I feel slow, and I low, low down. Then comes a yellow day, and whee! I'm a busy, buzzy bee. Gray day, everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. Then all of a sudden, I'm a circus seal on my orange days. That's how I feel. Green days, deep, deep in the sea, cool and quiet fish. That's me. On purple days, I'm sad. I groan, I drag my tail, I walk alone. But when my days are happy pink, it's great to jump and just not think. Then come my black days, mad and loud. I howl, I growl at every cloud. Then comes a mixed up day, and wham! I don't know who or what I am. But it all turns out all right, you see, and I go back to being me. The end. All right, children, let's go to class.
Go with wisdom, go with wonder, go to greet a brand new day. Learn to see the light within you as we send you on our way. Okay. Go with wisdom, go with wonder, go to greet a brand new day. Learn to see the light within you as we send you on your way.
Those joining us online are invited to share in all caps a joy or sorrow in the comments section. We begin by lighting a candle for all our concerns for the larger world, our wish for peace and justice, our hopes for the children who will inherit this planet. May this candle represent all those wishes and calls to action that are more than we can articulate in this space. And now, let us share the personal joys and sorrows in our lives. And I have one from Barbara Story, who says, my daughter-in-law's mother, Jan, is seriously ill in the hospital. That maybe send healing vibes to your family. That's the only one I have. Are there any? I don't think. Nope, nothing from online. We now light one more candle for all those joys, concerns, and sorrows that have remained unexpressed but are still held close to our hearts. And now, please join in saying the affirmation on the screen. We join you in celebrating your joys. May you feel our love and compassion for your sorrows and concerns. For all that is spoken and unspoken, may the caring of our beloved community sustain us all.
Thank you, Christine. What's better than a little Irving Berlin on a Sunday, I tell you. Our meditation this morning is by the Reverend Lisa Friedman. We touch the floor to remember that wherever we bring our best self is holy ground. We reach for the sky to remember that we are part of a mystery much bigger than ourselves. We hold hands to remember that we need one another and are part of one human family. We join voices to remember that we each have a gift to offer the world and to use in making the world a better place. Blessed be.
Today's reading, Artist's Statement. Dr. Judith F. Baca has been creating public art for 4 decades. Baca's murals bring art to where people live and work. In 1974, Baca founded the city of LA's first mural program, which produced over 400 murals and employed thousands. She continues to serve as the artistic director in the UCLA at Spark Digital Mural Lab, employing digital technology to promote social justice and participatory public arts projects. She's an emeritus professor at UCLA, where she was a senior professor in Chicano Studies and World Art and Cultures departments until 2018. She tells us, "I am beginning to believe I am a political landscape painter. I have always known the value of art as a tool for transformation, both personal and political. What I have had to learn through being attentive to my own curiosities and artistic focus is that I choose often to use land as my method of recording memories and stories in my paintings and murals.
We listen to the land.
The concept of land's memories is not new to me. I can first remember my thoughts that the land could remember all that had occurred in a particular place when I was a small child. I walked to elementary school across hot fields of weed and grasses in the burning Southern California sun. Through agricultural fields, a plant grew in the fields that we called clocks. And as children, we would snatch a tiny stem and hold it to the light, each child watching the slim weed with a seed at its end release small hair-like outgrowths to turn the seed into the earth and plant it. The stem began turning as soon as it was separated from the pod on which it grew. Sometimes the wind would snatch the seed from our tiny fingers, and it would become airborne, planting itself despite our interventions. We listened to the land. I still don't know the official term for this weed, so common in the San Fernando Valley where I grew up. My home was called Pacoima, named by the original people, and in open fields, the clocks still grow there, despite the fact that Pacoima gained a reputation as a dangerous barrio. Long ago, we stood in a circle, each with our tiny seed stem held high, and raced each other to see whose stem could turn the most times. As we watched the amazing plant literally twist in our fingers, it was like the turning of a hand on a clock. We listened to the land. I knew then that there was an intelligence to living and growing things, and to them, and to the earth. To living and growing things and to the earth that nurtured them. I would pass along trails where the temperature would change from hot to cold, and sometimes there were stories associated with the temperatures of different places. The slight incline in the path was cold. It harbored a dark secret because someone once found human bones there. We would shout the story to each other, which never ceased to scare us, even when told repeatedly. The story was recalled by our passing through the cool spot. We listened to the land. I thought the land was nevertheless recording all that had occurred there in the field. I needed only to listen to the land to hear the story. It could have been the fact that my grandmother was an indigenous woman who asked a plant's permission to transplant it. Or when taking a clipping from a branch of a plant, she spoke kindly to the plant and asked first if it did not mind. She would coach a new plant from it. Everything she touched grew in coffee cans on our porch before they were replanted into our lush garden. This did not seem unusual to me. It was normal. We listened to the land.
The mid-20th century playground equipment I used as a child could be described as practical, utilitarian, simple, designed for the body but not the imagination. The year I was 9 years old, I heard through the kid grapevine that a new magical playground called Atlantis had appeared on the faraway borders of East Garden Grove. Living on the west side, I rarely got to go across town. Cool things were happening over there. The yearly Strawberry Festival, a bunch of other schools, and those kids could shop on a main street, not just strip malls. When I went to Atlantis Park, lured by the sunken continent from lost times, I was completely enchanted in my body and my imagination. I even risked the scariest thing in my house, the anger of my father, to get there. We had been firmly instructed never to wake Dad up from his Sunday nap, but my sister and I were invited by the neighbors to go to Atlantis Park. I was worried if I woke my dad up, he'd automatically say no. It was quite a quandary. So I assured the neighbor parents that it was okay if my sister and I went, never exactly saying I had asked a parent. When we returned, my now very awake dad was furious. I calmly and in a very lawyer-like voice explained to him that he had instructed us never to wake him up on Sunday afternoon. I was merely following his instructions. That set him back a bit, and I got a vague and confused reprimand. But after navigating the perilous journey around my dragon dad to get there, my quest to go to the mythical land of Atlantis was successful. Our hearts remember. When the Atlantis mosaic came up on my screen as I was researching public art, I was flooded with memories of my time between the worlds in Atlantis. My experience with that public art project is embedded into my memory and my imagination. Created in the 1960s by a former park supervisor on 4 acres, journalist Alexander Charon, another besotted Atlantis lover since childhood, reports, something creative emerging from a sea of asphalt was what planner Wallen and his boss wanted to deliver. What made the park so cool was that it wasn't entirely consistent with the urban planning ethos of Southern California. To deliver on that vision, they took the further step of tapping the artistic talents of a young Mexican artist named Benjamin Dominguez. Dominguez's fanciful structures included seahorses, the dragon slide that always had a long line, even a sandlock Viking boat. In California suburbia, it's easy to forget that we are tied to the land that we live on, as Judith Baca's artist statement reminds us. Recently, I was sitting on the ancient Tongva land of my backyard. I was thinking about my paintings and mulling over my readings on the arts and resisting fascism. The idea of the monarch butterfly as a symbol of resistance for us came to me, and I personally understand inspiration is Alwyn, the Celtic spirit of the arts, from my own heritage. You may experience the gift of inspiration in other ways. I was reading how the Norwegians put a simple paper clip on their collars to identify themselves as part of the resistance to fascism during World War II. A simple item, affordable and available to everyone, invented by a Norwegian. Lost in thought, I noticed a very large monarch butterfly flutter into my yard. My house is on their migration path this year. I see them every day this summer. I was just finishing a painting, and it came to me what a powerful symbol the monarch butterfly would make in Southern California. Synchronicity, serendipity, or coincidence, 2 butterflies flew by right then, close to me. A few minutes later, as I was thinking of all the reasons the monarch movement wouldn't work and why I shouldn't launch this, a 3rd butterfly did a flyby almost into my face. Message received. I brought a butterfly for each of you today. So there's one in the basket. So if you want to come up, anytime during when I'm speaking or after the service, please do, and get a butterfly. And these, just be careful around toddlers and pets, okay? Yeah. I was a DRE, so I have to say that. Monarchs are resilient, transformative, beautiful, and should be the only monarch we bow to in our country. 2 indigenous Mexican peoples believe they carry the spirits of the dead. This is the art we see out in the world. Oh, forgot my definition. Public art is defined by the Tate Gallery as art that is in the public realm, regardless of whether it is situated on public or private property, or whether it has been purchased with public or private money. Thank you. This is the art we see out in the world, whether on the grounds of a bank, carved into the sand on the beach. It invites us to really look at the places where we live, where we visit, and provides the opportunity to see deeply into what we have created for ourselves. When Adolf Hitler began his political journey in Germany in the 1920s, he had a clear vision of how he would incorporate all the arts into his retro, new Germany. Modern art was labeled degenerate and banned from the country. As a former struggling artist, Hitler saw Germany as one large canvas. Like most dictators, he used public and private art to bend minds to his will. In his book, Art of the Third Reich, Peter Adam tells us in detail how public buildings, museums, and universities all came under the control of the Third Reich. The only pictures that were exhibited by the late 1930s and early 1940s were representational of the healthy German farmers, farm animals, scenes that glorified going off to war for the fatherland, and themes from Greek and Russian classical times. Hitler had plans to create every new public building to mirror Greek and Roman temples. The innovations of the skyscrapers and buildings of New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, South America of the day were dismissed as degenerate. Peter Adams says straight up, in this stilted art world, exhibits and public art were repetitive and flat out boring. Art criticism was outlawed by the Third Reich. There are many parallels today with totalitarian tactics and the arts, with federal funding being cut off or severely reduced for public broadcasting, arts programs, museums, and schools. The arts are under attack. In her book, Acts of Resistance, The Power of Art to Create a Better World, Amber Massey-Blomfield tells us to see the value in all art that calls to our deeper and best selves. Seeing beauty and experiencing joy, especially in the everyday, is a radical act in itself. Her last chapter, titled Utopia, speaks to the political power of unleashing our joy and emotions through art out into the everyday world. I call this our superpower. So today, let's say yes to each other, our neighbors, ourselves, and our creative lives. Yes, let's paint the strange-looking flowers and houses. Let's set up an altar in our yard. Yes, let's echo ancient languages and images and reimagine the divine feminine. Yes to making edgy art that makes people uncomfortable. Do I hear a yes? Yes! One more time, yes! Bob Dylan says that the purpose of art is to stop time. That idea has stayed with me. So let's test it out now and play with it. Take a moment and think of a butterfly. The colors, the beauty, the artistry, alive or in a picture or in a statue or someone dressed as a butterfly. Close your eyes if you're comfortable and simply see a butterfly. Did time stop for you? Yes? No? So have fun with this later. I've been having a lot of discussions and, like during when you watch a movie, did time stand still for the whole movie? It's kind of just fun to play with. There are many examples of the healing work of art. If you saw the documentary on Netflix, The Quilters, you saw incarcerated men in a maximum care facility in Missouri. These men do not fit the stereotype of a quilter. They make beautiful quilts for the foster care system. Huntington Beach Art Center is now hosting a show by the LA Homeboy Art Academy. With vast prevention programs, Homeboy also provides alternatives to incarceration, provides mentorship, art healing, and workshops to youth who would traditionally be sentenced to juvenile halls or probation, and those who are past the point of being at risk and living in pure crisis. They give them a boost and some help. If you're thinking you're not artsy, I'll suggest making a morning altar. Day Shilkret describes making morning altars, or daily altars as I call them, for us late risers. These altars echo the ancient Asian practice of mandala meditation. They're ephemeral, impermanent, made from materials like sticks and leaves and seeds and flowers and petals from our daily walk or even just being out in our backyard. Using a grabber to pick up items or using touch to gather the items can help all of us enjoy the outside too. Kids will love it. Here are the 7 steps. 1, collect natural items from your chosen area. 2, select a place for the altar, and then 3, clear a space. 4, create the altar by playing with patterns. 5, set an intention for each altar. The altar can be for us, for you, for the day, for somebody else, or the world. Take a picture of the altar and share it. And he has a Facebook page and offers places that you can share your pictures. Then the hard part is walk away. The altar will break down and return to where it began, a reminder of the impermanence of all things. Passersby can also experience the transience of nature and share a moment of joy with your altar. I'm heartened by the creative efforts I see locally and all over the world. Art fills potholes, decorates utility boxes, amazes with huge 3-dimensional paintings on buildings and sidewalks. If you just Google these, it's so much fun. You can get lost for a long time. Locally, we can enjoy public art mural projects. These murals combine beauty, history, inspiration, and social justice messages. Anaheim, the city that hosted rallies by the largest white supremacist organization in the state 100 years ago, is working to turn around a toxic heritage. Residents are celebrating their indigenous Tongva and Ahachiman roots. I spent an afternoon at the Untold Story bookstore, which showcases local writers and artists. and touring street murals in Anaheim with our UU friend, Mazat. Making friends with the people in the neighborhood, the muralists paint indigenous pictures. On a chilly Friday evening, we met people involved in daily tasks like laundry and sweeping. All were kind and friendly to me, an obvious outsider. One man was sitting in a courtyard handing out bananas to passersby. I used my limited Spanish and smiled a lot. One older man said that seeing the murals instead of graffiti changes people's hearts. We decided to drive through the last alley to see the murals for safety reasons as it got darker. Anaheim mural artist Carla Roque is also involved. She engages students to design and paint a mural at each public elementary school. This gives students unparalleled hands-on immersion into community and public art. It's a powerful experience to stand as a witness and ally to art for change in real time, in a real place. Supporting these grassroots efforts to integrate creativity, beauty, and joy into the daily lives of people of all economic levels can deepen our UU values. Our own Unitarian Walt Whitman, philosopher and poet, tells us to stand up for the offbeat and to re-examine all that we are told so that we can think and create for ourselves. If we do this, he says that our very flesh shall be a great poem. May we all receive the healing, the release, and the blessing of creativity. Staying conscious to the fact that many symbols we are constantly being fed by advertising and the government can be tainted is important too. We can look to our historical and cultural roots, to mythical worlds like my memories of Atlantis, but best of all, inspiration will be found in that flow that is inside of us. One of my friends, Anne Joby Hall, has taken inspiration from Atlantis and is writing a fictional book series. We each have our own way of appreciating the land we steward, of peering into art and beauty, and then creating. I'll meet you in that land of inspiration and imagination, friends, that flows from head to heart and into our mind's eye, and then transforms into something new. I'll look for you in Atlantis, where we'll dress in festive clothes, watch butterflies, and make some art, and laugh together while we make time stand still. Amen, and blessed be.
At UUCF, we embrace the possibility of a world filled with peace, acceptance, justice, love, and joy. By our financial commitment, we help this congregation, through its maintenance, mission, and ministries, make these possibilities real in a challenging world. A basket is being brought around the sanctuary, and there are payment options available on the screens. Whatever you are able to give is received with gratitude. We thank you for your commitment and generosity.
For our closing hymn, we'll be singing hymn number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit and join us in singing.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Our caring listener today is Debbie Longenbacher. You can speak with Debbie after the service if you have any concerns or would simply like someone to talk to. And trust that whatever you share is always confidential.
In today's overly virtual landscape, I want my viewers to be enchanted by each morning altar's capacity to awaken their imagination, says Day Shilkret. Their awe, their nuanced eye, and deep love and connection with the magic and mystery of our earth. I long to have us linger on that ephemeral edge where death and rebirth bring forth an ancient remembering and a new impermanent beauty. Amen and blessed be.
And now, oops. We now extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts wherever we may go. Amen. Shalom. Salam. Namaste. And blessed be. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the Spirit of life surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Please join us for our social time.
Walker.